Yeah, you tuned in to the official. It's that SilverKeys vibe, let it ride slow. For the late nights with the lights low. If you feeling the sound, hit the light. Subscribe, comment, share, do it right. Keep it locked for the soul.
What's up, y'all? I'm back with another video, of course. Listen, do your own research. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. However, keep an open mind. Let me know what you think about it. Share it, like it, comment, and subscribe. This is going to be a good one, so let's go ahead and tap in.
This isn't a conspiracy theory. This isn't fiction. This is history, and it's one of the darkest government programs ever exposed. The CIA called it MKUltra. The victims called it hell. The year was 1953. The United States government, terrified of Cold War enemies, decided that ethics, humanity, basic human rights were expendable. They wanted control over the human mind. So the CIA created Project MKUltra, a sprawling secret program run by the agency's most powerful branch. Under the leadership of Sidney Gottlieb, a chemist with a government checkbook and zero moral restraint, experiments began on unsuspecting citizens, mental hospital patients, prisoners, soldiers, even everyday Americans who had no idea they were being used. They were drugged with massive doses of LSD, sedated, electroshocked, hypnotized, tortured, psychologically broken down, all in the name of national security. No consent, no compassion, no dignity, just power. The CIA liked to hide behind words like research and science, but the reality was abuse. People lost their memories. People lost their identities. People lost their lives. One of the most well-known victims was Frank Olson, a government scientist who began questioning what MKUltra was doing. In November 1953, Frank Olson was unwittingly dosed with a high amount of LSD. Then, in the days after, he began acting erratically. Not long after, he fell from a hotel window. For decades, it was called a suicide. It wasn't until 1975 that, due to pressure from the public and Frank's family, the CIA finally admitted to drugging Frank and paid the family a settlement. Patients in hospitals, already vulnerable, were used as test subjects. Some were drugged for weeks straight, hallucinating, terrified, isolated, unable to understand what was happening to them. Prisoners were experimented on like lab rats, promised freedom in exchange for participating. Promises the CIA never intended to keep. These weren't tests, they were violations of humanity. And the worst part? The CIA destroyed most of the files in the 1970s, so we may never know how deep the horror truly went. And when MKUltra officially ended, the government didn't apologize. They buried it, they denied it, they hoped we'd forget. This isn't ancient history. This isn't just a shocking story. This is a reminder of what happens when government power goes unchecked, a reminder of what happens when fear is used as justification for cruelty, a reminder that real people suffered, while the CIA experimented with their minds like they were disposable. And if they did it once, what else have they done that we haven't discovered yet? Project MKUltra was real. Its victims were real. Its consequences are still echoing through history. The truth isn't comfortable. It isn't pretty. But it deserves to be heard. If we don't learn from this, we risk letting it happen again. Never.
You don't have to believe it. I'm not here to try to make you believe it. But if you like to do your own research like I do, you can go online and look up some declassified documents regarding MKUltra. What y'all think about it? Y'all think it happened? Y'all think it didn't happen? Do you think the government actually stopped it? Do you think it's still going on? Me personally, I think it's probably still going on. But, they'll never tell us the truth.
Forget.
That gave me like some Stranger Things vibes. Shout out to the Duffer Brothers. That's one of my top 5 shows. But that's wild. Y'all see that? That look kind of legit. I ain't gonna cap. I don't know.
Look at you today, 20 years later, and they still have no idea what you're about. Tell me in a sentence who you are.
Nobody. I'm nobody. I'm a tramp, a bum, a hobo. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight razor if you get too close to me.
It was so hard to come running out of a hell that nobody believed existed. My name is Kathy O'Brien, and I'm a survivor of MKUltra mind control. The MKUltra program was to ultimately control the minds of the population for implementing what Adolf Hitler first termed the New World Order. When girls reached age 30, they were murdered or they were sacrificed. I was going to be killed as well. I was to go out in a blaze of glory and be burned alive. I'm so fortunate that an intelligence insider who saw the kind of corruption that was going on in the highest levels of government decided to take action and rescued me and saved my life so that we could begin to expose what was being done.
So what was the point of MKUltra?
They were trying to figure out, can we really brainwash people? Can we create Manchurian candidates? Can we split people's personalities? It involved a lot of former Nazi scientists and involved a lot of LSD and dosing people with massive, massive doses of LSD.
Here we go with LSD again. Why y'all think the government made that illegal? I've heard stories that people who take it have some type of awakening or healing or something like that. Do y'all think that's why the government made it illegal? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think.
And it was called Super Spy. These women would lure these men back to the hotel and drug them with LSD. We had like Project Stargate, like the Men Who Stare at Goats movie, and remote viewing and all this other stuff was going on. Then they started MKUltra, which involved a lot of former Nazi scientists and involved a lot of LSD and dosing people with massive, massive doses of LSD and ruining a lot of people's lives in the process. But it was an attempt initially to find some kind of a truth serum. And actually the Navy participated in the biggest one, which was called Project Chatter, which is a sub-project of MKUltra. And with this guy, he's a professor at, it's in Hamilton, New York. I can't remember the name of the Colgate University. His name's Dr. George Estabrooks. And he and J. Edgar Hoover are collaborating on a plan to use hypnosis to capture and hypnotize a German submarine captain and give him alter identities. And send him back to his fleet in Germany and have him torpedo the entire German fleet inside the harbor. And this was a legit.
I'm Christy Nicola. I was the subject in radiation as well as mind control and drug experiments performed by a man I knew as Dr. Green. And Donald Richard Ebner, my natural father, was involved with Dr. Green in the experiments. Dr. Green performed radiation experiments on me in 1970. All these experiments were performed on me in conjunction with mind control techniques and drugs in Tucson, Arizona. Dr. Green was using me mostly as a mind control subject. His objective was to gain control of my mind and train me to be a spy assassin. The first significant memory took place at Kansas City University in 1966. I was in what looked like a laboratory, and there seemed to be other children. I was strapped down, naked, spread eagle, on a table, on my back. Dr. Green had electrodes on my body, including my head. He used what looked like an overhead projector and repeatedly said he was burning different images into my brain while a red light flashed aimed at my forehead. In between each sequence, he used electric shock on my body and told me to go deeper and deeper, while repeating each image would go deeper into my brain, and I would do whatever he told me to do. I felt drugged because he had given me a shot before he started the procedure. When it was over, he gave me another shot. The next thing I remember, I was with my grandparents again in Tucson, Arizona. I was 4 years old.
Time out, y'all. She said that her father was working with Dr. Green, who did all those horrific things to her, allegedly. When I hear involved, I feel like they may have paid her father off, which is not uncommon when people do these type of things. But what y'all think about that? What made her, a qualified candidate to get chosen to undergo these experiments? What y'all think about that? And did y'all look at the people that's at the hearing or wherever she's speaking at? Some look like they don't care. Some look like, I can't believe she telling this. And some just look zoned out. You got to pay attention to the details. But let me know what y'all think.
A clone is a person that acts some particular way, and then overnight turns into a total being that he wasn't. This particular person now, you can't tell her from dime or shore. Everything she has, so she want to have Mark Furman on her show, she'll have it on her show. Because she been dead, bro. Oprah Winfrey. Working for the secret society. You got the secret society, NBC, secret society, or CBS. Anytime they give you multi-billions of dollars, millions of dollars, and he gives money, gives $20 million to the Rockefeller College, Spelman. Go back and look at Uptown Saturday Night. Go back and look at Doggone Let's Do It Again. That person and the person you see now known as Bill Cosby is a total different entity. You don't lose that kind of identity, I don't give a damn how old you get. So, here's how they advance secret society. They sacrifice the doggone trust. Because the key is, you don't get up there now unless you agree to do a sacrifice. Either you gotta go down on them. So, with Will Smith, they got cloning.
What's up with all these celebrities in Hollywood, Holly whatever? It just, like he just said, secret societies, Rockefeller. If you on this channel, I already know you know about all of that. But what's up with all these celebrities being in these cults or participating in this system of whatever it is? It's wild out here. Let me know what y'all think about that. And I don't know what they got going on. Ever since they started making that movie Wicked together, they just been moving weird. I don't know. Do they go together? I mean,
Well, yeah.
I'm feeling very nervous, a little bit overwhelmed. I feel a little shaky. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, it's good. It's good. I feel a little shaky. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, that is good.
Cardi is funny. Do y'all think she was just having a funny moment or she was under some type of mind control? I don't know. She's just funny like that. But yeah.
Can't. Get out. Oh my god, I gotta do that thing for Nickelodeon. Oh my god. I love you for watching that.
You know? Saying Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away, the king of rock and roll. And as Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little...
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it.
It is delicious, isn't it?
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Y'all probably done seen that clip a few times. I done seen it. It do seem off and creepy. Do y'all think he was in some type of trance? It looked fake. He looked fake. What y'all think about it? Your favorite president, Bill Clinton. I mean, he just sitting there. I daydream sometimes too, but if somebody doing my makeup, I don't think I could just sit there like that. Made me scratch my head. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Tap in.
Just learn. It stands for mind control.
And let's do it again.
Instigate. And in other parts of the world, but we had a very, very sophisticated program that violated a lot of American values.
They sedated you.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the thought process behind it when you talked to a doctor about this? What did they tell you was wrong with you?
They told me I was bipolar. And I remember going on TMZ and saying, slavery is a choice. And they medicated me for saying that, for having that opinion and saying it out loud.
Who are they?
But as I put those contracts up, I'm saying, this is a choice. As you
didn't mean people being abducted and brought into slavery and put into chains was a choice. What you were talking about is people making decisions that would enslave them financially and enslave their life.
Yeah.
But it was taken out of context, and it was taken in the least charitable way, and they decided to try to say, look at crazy Kanye, look at this shit he's saying.
Let's talk about the real CIA experiments that inspired Stranger Things. In the 1950s, the CIA launched a secret program called MKUltra. The purpose of these experiments were to see if that they can control the human mind. Now, there's a couple ways that they started to do this. They locked some people in sensory deprivation chambers for days. Other people were dosed with LSD without them even knowing. And then other people, they used electric shock therapy. Some people didn't even know that they were part of these experiments. Basically, they wanted to see how long or what it would take for people to break. If they could literally break someone's mind and then rewire it so that they could control them. They combined drugs with isolation and fear. So yeah, Elevation's origin story. Break someone down far enough so that you could then rebuild them back up. They also wanted to be able to erase memories and then take over their...
Look at them. And they be doing this off camera. And then they roll the camera on y'all and you think it's real. You be like, oh, they real. I see them talking. I see them moving.
How you doing?
I have these dreams, sir.
Dreams?
Yes, sir. Kuwait. You and me, Ingram and Baker and Raymond Shaw.
Okay.
See, I remember it happened like you just said, and then I don't.
Well, we had it pretty rough over there. A long time ago, memory shift.
Do you have dreams, sir?
Everybody has dreams.
No, not these.
No, I don't.
Write it all down. You know, like every night, right when I wake up, try to get it down. It doesn't always come together, you know, not everything that I can remember.
Maybe you should go to the VA hospital, talk to one of the doctors.
Man, I bet the doctors, man.
Okay.
I'm just a little stuck, sir. Because I remember, okay, Shaw, okay. Shaw saving us, right? That doesn't make sense. Because that should have been you. Okay, if Shaw is in the Hummer, Yoda is here. All right, just get up. Get up.
Listen, it's over. That's done. You gotta move on.
But I was hoping is that, you know, maybe
you need some money or something?
no, sir.
Wait.
I don't need your money, man.
All right. It's great to see you.
Do y'all think that type of stuff still going on in our military today? My best friend in the military, and I better not find out the government doing nothing like that to her. Shout out to my best friend B, y'all. I do be asking her stuff sometime, and she be like, oh, I can't talk about it. But what y'all think about that? How much of this experiment do y'all think played into the military and going to war or spying on other countries or whatever the case may be? Drop your thoughts down in the comment.
An entertainer's mind control breaks down during the live appearance, and we get a glimpse of the truly bizarre behavior these people demonstrate behind closed doors.
I was a little down. I found out I was injured and I had to have surgery again, or with another knee. But at the end of the day, I have amazing teammates. Guys like Draymond, everybody on this team.
Feeling great. I feel nervous, a little bit overwhelmed. I feel a little shaky. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, but it's good. It's good. You know,
people of Australia and of our show, we were very empathetic about what happened and very sort of horrified. And so we were wondering, how is everyone going? How's Kim doing?
What? Okay.
I'm sorry, is there someone talking to you?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry about that. So I just was wondering
They
how
just
everyone's
came
doing.
in.
Hello, Courtney. Have we lost?
Look at the sign in the back though. Hollywood. Hollyweird. What y'all think of this interview?
A glitch typically occurs when a victim suddenly switches to another alter. Sometimes a trigger word is unwittingly used and they are suddenly thrown into another mode, so to speak. The most famous live glitch was Al Roker's notorious freezing incident during a taping of The Today Show.
Let's make it real awkward.
That's exactly how you have to have a certain amount of distance between
Yes,
the bodies
exactly.
in your high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away.
Another sign of MKUltra is the existence of alternate identities, and while this condition may be relatively rare in the normal world, it's surprisingly common in the twisted realm of the entertainment industry. Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, Nicki Minaj has Roman Zelensky, and Britney Spears has a British-speaking alter.
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me, and he says the things that I don't want to say. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage.
It must be nice to have like an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every.
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
Something that takes over me, and we named it Sasha because it's like two different people for me, and I love performing, but I think I'm a little boring in real life. You're not.
What y'all think about that? These alter egos, different personalities. Now that I'm looking at it from this context, is different. I don't know.
There was another lady who had the same kind of psychic driving that I did, and she was a very wiry, slender lady, and with lots of pep and zip, you know, and she'd go to the dances and this and that. And one day she just wasn't there. And when we asked where she went, they said, oh, well, you know, she's gone to another hospital. Well, sometime later, I was in the day hospital, and I happened to ask a nurse if she'd heard what had happened to this lady. And she said, oh, that's her sitting over there. And I looked, and there was a fat lady that just looked like she was made out of dough. She didn't know me. She didn't know herself. She didn't know anybody. She was gone. Now that's a death. There was a gentleman who jumped off the roof of the Allen.
I'm going to play a recording of people chanting, "That is embarrassing," 4 times. After the 4th time, write down what you hear. Interesting. Almost everyone here heard, "That is embarrassing." Listen again and watch the screen. You heard the same thing every single time. Our eyes and ears take in electrical signals which our brains interpret based on our expectations. We don't see reality. We see our reality.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. What he had on the screen started to sound like the original chant. How y'all feel about that? Tell me what y'all heard. Tell me what you saw. That was crazy. Wow.
I've had a year that would test a lot of people. Illness in the family. A breakup. this spasm of publicity about what happened from Mexico to London.
It was pretty rough, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Ah, weird. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. Ew. Strong Brittany. Yeah, it was weird.
What was that? Was she trying to deflect from the question, or like did somebody hit a switch? She tweaking.
Alright, check it out. Something I noticed about these MKUltra glitches is everybody around these people, look at the people around them. Shaq's frozen, but everybody around them acts completely normal.
Yeah, but he's going to join the Saturday night crew with our music intro starting next Saturday night. Before.
I didn't buy no damn gift. What's good?
So is there going to be a public registry? Because I'm going to be honest with you. And he's talking like nothing just happened right now. Like, come on, you can't tell me that wasn't weird.
I didn't buy no damn gift. What's good?
So is there going to be a public registry? Because I'm going to be honest with you. All the people around them act completely normal. This is the 2 Chainz one. Look at. They're just laughing, having fun. This fool's like stuck. This fool's glitching up. Alright? Now the reason I think this is because all these people around them are part of the secret society. Alright? Whether it's just Ebro, the people at Hot 97, the DJs, the people in the hip hop community, ESPN, the newscasters, bruh, the people in the NBA, look at, acting completely normal. That's why I don't think these are exactly glitches. I think these things are done on purpose. These people are triggered on purpose. You get what I'm saying? That's why it always happens on live TV for you to see. It's done like this on purpose, and it's almost like everybody else knows that it's going to happen. They act completely normal. Notice that. That's because these people are part of the secret society. People you would never expect. People like this. Ebro. Most people outside the hip-hop community don't even know who this is. You get what I'm saying? And
take the gift cards. Fuck everybody's presents. Take the gift cards, take the gift cards, take the gift cards.
Yeah, because they might pull. What's that thing that was going around?
He seems to be the handler in this case. And think about how many famous celebrities go through Hot 97. These people, these DJs, these people who do interviews, No Jumper, all these people work for the elites. Think about that, man. All these people act completely normal. You get what I'm saying? The secret society is operating all around us. Look at that. You can't tell me that's not weird, man.
It is weird, but why would it be done on purpose on live television? That's the part I don't get. What y'all think about that? Everybody in the secret society, though? It can't be everybody. A few people, yeah, but everybody? Y'all think everybody in Hollywood, every celebrity is like in some type of secret society and a handler and go talk to these so-called elites? I think that is true in some cases, but let's not reach here. Let's not take it too far. Let's tap back in.
What's this one?
It's a couple of wavy lines.
Sorry, this isn't your lucky day.
I know. Hey! I'm getting a little tired of this.
You volunteered, didn't you? We're paying you, aren't we?
Yeah, but I didn't know you were going to be giving me electric shocks. What are you trying to prove here anyway?
I'm studying the effect of negative reinforcement on ESP ability.
The effect? I'll tell you what the effect is. It's pissing me off.
Well, then maybe my theory is correct.
You can keep the $5. I've had it.
I will, mister.
As this 1952 CIA memo says, the aim is controlling an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will, and even against such fundamental laws of nature as self-preservation. But it was a discovery here in Basel, Switzerland, at Sandoz Laboratories by Dr. Albert Hoffman, that led the intelligence agencies of America to believe that they had found the panacea. The discovery was lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD. The film that you see is considered by many experts to be the closest illustration of the effects of a hallucinogenic.
I could never take that drug. It wouldn't be for me. No. But nevertheless, those documents, go look it up. Do your own research and read it for yourself. I'm telling you. Let's tap back in.
It's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old. And I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow. Baby strawberry, a very, very cute baby cake that my friend. It really kind of hurts my feelings that the paparazzi make my face look like I'm wearing like a white Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me. They've always been incredibly cruel to me. The paparazzi and pictures and the way they've illustrated me to be in. Some of it, I know I'm not perfect at all by any means, but some of it is extremely mean and cruel. And that's why I've moved to Mexico.
What happened to the oops, I did it again? What happened to Britney, y'all? I know that video clip is old, but I'm like, what is going on? Somebody let me know, please.
Where I have my effect in the mind.
This is lysergic acid diethylamide, better known as acid. The powerful drug was first synthesized in 1938 in Switzerland. With a dose of mere micrograms, the mind becomes confused. Perception is distorted. Personal identity is called into question. The results can be euphoric bliss or deadly panic.
So that was how LSD was introduced to this country.
Operation Midnight Climax is part of a larger top-secret CIA program called MKUltra. The goal, learn how to control and even reprogram people's minds. The CIA believes LSD might hold the key. Over the next 10 years, the agency doses a cross-section of the American public. Everyone from unwitting housewives to soldiers to even criminals like gangster Whitey Bulger is tested.
You know, what the CIA really dreamed of was sort of like a drug you could give to someone, get them to commit all sorts of unspeakable acts, and they wake up the next day and they don't remember what they've done.
They were looking into brainwashing. They were looking into mind control. They were looking into how they could create what they called Manchurian candidates. They were trying to figure out if they could get people to go out and do things that they would ordinarily not do, like assassination.
The case of MKUltra has to be one of the craziest cases of blowback in CIA history, because here they took this drug, LSD, and thought that they were going to be able to use it to control people's minds, and the unbelievable irony is that LSD is a drug that does exactly the opposite. It frees your mind and causes people to question authority.
And that's exactly why it's illegal. That is exactly why. But you mean to tell me the CIA was able to do all of these experiments, all of these terrible things, and whatever the case may be, and they still able to operate in 2026? Now, if I would have did something like that, they would have put me under the jail. Under it. Forever. Like, I'm talking about concurrent life sentences. This is crazy, y'all. My mind is blown. Let's tap back in.
Turn on, tune in, drop out.
The CIA's attempt to control people turned out to be just the opposite. It created the counterculture as we know it of the 60s. It was the CIA that introduced LSD to the United States.
Some administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Gloria Demlow.
La mujer.
For what?
Y'all saw that? I saw that. And I have no explanation. Somebody tap in and let me know what you thought about that. I remember that clip when it first came out. Had to run it back. Let's tap back in.
It's involved in the development of the internet and of things like pattern recognition, but I mean, the government has funded many studies, but really with what I got interested in social media and how I connect it with the episodes of brainwashing from earlier, mind control, is that it operates, it creates states of emotional contagion that aren't really about convincing people of a different way to think, but more about how you feel about what you think, which is something people describe in cults too. It's not that it changed my thoughts, it's that it changed my feelings about my thoughts.
Change my mind and think about something and then it happens. A lot of people think you gotta work to get here, but you don't. You gotta kind of like control your mind, right? A lot of people can't control their mind in the world, so everybody trying to work. But if you work, you're getting worked. So I don't do too much work, right? I just control my mind, control what I think. And if I do that, I control where I be. It's like a video game. And the more control it is your emotion. So I just don't feel shit.
That's everybody in the world today. Phones, tablets. That's just what it is. But do y'all think it's mind control? Giving us access to the internet, unlimited access. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Do y'all think that they are putting propaganda on the internet for us Americans to consume, to continue to be consumers? You got to realize in some other countries, TikTok, Facebook, social media, it might be illegal. Like they can't even get on that. It might be banned. Or it's controlled. They control what you can and cannot watch. So what do y'all think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
There's a Harvard student that about maybe 5 years ago developed this device that just sits on the bone right here on the back of the ear. That device is connected to Wi-Fi to the internet. He doesn't have to speak. He thinks and the bone picks up his thoughts and it sends it to Google. He can ask, when you ask him a question, he then asks the question to Google through this piece that his mouth never moves. Google then transmits the answer and then vibrates it through the bone behind the ear. He hears it in his head and he can regurgitate the answer to you.
I want one. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I want one.
What a pleasure for Herbie and me to introduce Marshall Mathers. Some of you may know him as Eminem, but he's going to join the Saturday night crew with our music intro starting next Saturday night. But folks, I want to take you to the world premiere of one of his new videos called Berserk. Take a listen. It's headed for the top of the charts. So was that the great Rick Rubin who was helping produce that with you, Marshall, when you did that?
Yeah, sorry. Live TV. Live TV freaks me out a little bit. No.
What y'all think about him just standing there like that? It did look like he was in some type of trance or he was zoned out. And then he just snapped back into it when they asked him a question. What y'all think about it?
Yes, I'm sorry. What was the question? Is that?
Then they also did experimentations to using different chemicals to see if you can induce a person to commit a crime or induce him to do that or to do this. Of course, the CIA claimed that it didn't carry it through. The documentation we got was actually that they did that. Then we came across the overall project called MKUltra. Its earlier code name was Artichoke, and that included 149 sub-projects.
149.
Yeah. And those sub-projects range from what I just described to open-air testing in the United States, experimentation on prisoners, experimentation on soldiers, experimentation on college students.
Would these people know they were being experimented on and gave their approval?
No, except for the quote-unquote voluntary Army soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
And the way the Volunteer Army program worked is it started in 1959, and the guys were just told that they would be doing experimentation on new weapons.
He is not one of the greats yet.
It's about titles.
1, 2, 3.
Ken Curry delivered.
You looked overwhelmed out there.
Restless. Too small. Injected. Too flashy. Struggling. Denied.
Calm. Strong. Focused.
MKUltra was when the Unabomber, who was a...
Do not say nothing about this Charlie Kirk video, okay? The man actually know what he talking about in this video, so let's roll with it. Let's tap in.
Professor of mathematics was a victim of CIA mind control operation. This is all well documented. So he was used as experimentation for CIA mind control, MKUltra. And then ends up becoming very violent, obviously, and disturbed person in the hills of Montana, and starts sending around explosive devices. And he had this manifesto, and the manifesto that he wrote was all about warnings of technology. But his kind of psychosis was induced by MKUltra. We know this because of the Church and Pike Committee that was constituted in the 1960s and 70s by Congress to look into all of the activity by the Central Intelligence Agency. That's what we learned about the heart attack gun, where the CIA can make it look like you had a heart attack by just shooting, a dart at you, taking the dart out, and then it mimics a heart attack. Makes you wonder how many people in public life actually have had a heart attack gun against them. That
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, or Andrew Breitbart. Yeah, Stanley Kubrick. Interesting. I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
The essence of the MKUltra was that CIA was actively involved in trying to proliferate mass mind control, and also being able to find an individual subject and be able to change their behavior and maybe turn them into someone who was violent, who otherwise was not, to turn somebody into someone who was very manipulative, otherwise would not. So you could take a subject, and they do this through very similar to Clockwork Orange, right? Mm. That is like an example of MKUltra, where they take you and you completely change. You're damaged. And they did this a lot with psychedelics. It would give patients psychedelics to see if they could turn somebody into like a school shooter or something.
Charles Manson.
Charlie Manson is another. Yeah, he was a MKUltra. Well, I don't know if we know he was for sure. No, actually, in the book CIA in the 60s, they believe Charlie Manson was.
Do you think the MKUltra project ever actually ended? Or just went
No,
under
we have no evidence that it ended. And I mean, also we have Operation Mockingbird too, which was another CIA program, which was that they were going to take over all the news networks and have symmetry in their broadcast communications. No, the Central Intelligence Agency is actively involved in mind manipulation of people here domestically. And that is completely against the CIA charter. You must understand, we have Congress, and they're just kind of like a peanut gallery. And then we have a super government that exists above Congress of the Department of Defense, which is the Pentagon, the Central Intelligence Agency, which is its own thing out in Langley, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They run the country. The intel agencies run the country.
I
The
agree.
people don't run the country. The executive branch doesn't run the country. This is why they hate Trump, because Trump was the first candidate since JFK to actually want to declare war on the intel agencies and bring the power back to the sovereign. And both him and Kennedy got shot. Makes you think.
What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, looking at what the CIA has done before, it makes you wonder. Because if you look at what MKUltra was and how they wound people up and how they disturb people, there's a lot of just suspicious stuff that happened on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. A lot of suspicious.
What y'all think about that? Let me know in the comments.
Question. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And if you miss any of my interviews or G's interviews, don't forget eonline.com. Keep it there. Get all the Grammy stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we're right back.
See you later.
Get all the Grammy stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we're right back.
Una de las cosas por la cual yo quise hacer la entrevista contigo, Almighty, es porque... ¿Estás bien?
Sí, sí.
Una de las cosas por la cual yo quise hacer una entrevista contigo es porque yo sé que todo, Almighty, es porque... ¿Estás bien? Sí, sí. Una de las cosas por la cual yo quise hacer una entrevista con...
So you want to erase a mind? Modern psychiatry has the answer. Dr. Ewan Cameron developed a technique called psychic driving. First, the subject is placed in a prolonged drug-induced sleep. Next, a tape recorder endlessly repeats chosen phrases, sometimes tens of thousands of times. With the mind softened by chemicals and repetition, old memories vanish, leaving a pliable new personality. Science calls it progress. Brought to you by Paranoid American.
People that if we're given the
Here it
opportunity,
comes.
we can be just as good as any all-stars
Now
out
watch,
there.
watch
And
it.
that is what they were doing.
And you mentioned Kyrie with
There it is.
tonight's
Yeah.
draft lottery. We now
Isn't it
have
funny?
the answer for how that trade finishes up. So how do we view that now in totality? I'm afraid we lost Rachel. We've lost Rachel Nichols. All right, come back. Come back.
I'm here. I'm here.
You can hear me?
Instant. Come back. Boom. I can.
Instant.
Come back.
One last time.
They did a lot of crazy shit back then. Are you aware of Operation Midnight Climax?
Those were the safe houses in San Francisco.
Well, that was the brothel version of it.
Yeah.
Where they lured these Johns into these brothels and then dosed them up with LSD and studied them.
Yeah, George Hunter White was the head CIA guy, and he would sit behind a two-way or one-way mirror and watch the Johns would be dosed with LSD. They tried aerosols or just drinks, different things, and then they would study their behaviors.
Aerosols?
Yeah, aerosol sprays.
Really?
Yeah.
But that would get the prostitutes too then, no?
No, the prostitutes would get them in there, and then they go to the bathroom or something,
Oh,
or to
then
be
they'd
in the
spray 'em?
bathroom. Yeah.
Oh,
and again, the problem is the records are so scant because Helms ordered Gottlieb to destroy all the records in 1973 when the two men left the agency. And the only reason anybody ever discovered that it existed was a whistleblower, somebody who used to work for the State Department who remembered that there were records in a warehouse, and they were just financial records from the beginning of the program in 52 until the end, and the possible end in 73.
Alright, y'all. We made it to the end of the video. Let me know what y'all think. MKUltra? Real? Not real? Do you think it's still being ran? Do you think you've been under MKUltra? Do you know somebody? Tap in and let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see y'all next time on the next video.